Welcome back to the Tesla.
Welcome back to the dedicated charger.
And welcome back to another Tesla Talk Tuesday.
So interestingly enough, it appears that Tesla might start charging for cellular service. So right now, not all cars, but at least my car has streaming Slacker radio, obviously maps, navigation, all that good stuff, free unlimited supercharging. But that's how all of the Model S's and X's were for the longest time, probably about, 5 or 6 years maybe? It was around 2018 is when things started changing, when the Model S or Model 3s really started coming out in full force. That's when there were things where not everything was included, such as free unlimited supercharging anymore. I mean, they even got rid of that in the Model S and X for a short period of time, but right now it is back. On a recent update, I guess some of the Model 3 screens have started showing like a data usage, like 0 out of 50 gigabytes. And the rumor is that Tesla might start charging for data at around $100 a year, which isn't really that terrible when you think of like a cell phone bill that's less than $9 or less than $10 a month. So not terrible, and well, obviously will get you a lot. The question is, can you stream YouTube and Netflix using cellular? Probably not, because my understanding, at least after the beta tests, is that you do have to be connected to a Wi-Fi wireless network. But there are supposed to be Wi-Fi networks going in at supercharger locations. So it'll be interesting to see how this plays out going forward. But yeah, supposedly you may get charged for data soon. At least in the lower tier Model 3s. I don't know what it will be included with. I don't know who will be grandfathered in. I hope I don't have to pay, but more to come. We will see. Tesla's also opening a new V3 supercharger location. So my understanding is there's 2 in California right now, a full-fledged like supercharger location in Las Vegas, and they're actually opening one in Tampa, Florida. So of all places, usually I feel like everything goes to California first because, well, that's where Elon Musk is, in and around that region in California and Nevada. That's where there's obviously the majority of Tesla sold in the U.S. are in California. But of all places, Tampa, Florida, very interesting. But supposedly there's a V3 supercharger that is slated and ready to go in to a certain degree. And supposedly, I don't know when or how soon, but there should be one going in Vienna, Virginia. I don't know if that's as near term as the Tampa one. But either way, new V3 supercharger going in on the East Coast in Tampa. I don't know the actual ETA, but soon, I guess, relative. So Volkswagen has supposedly started their own battery cell production. They have a pilot line going, and they will be basically making their batteries in-house as well. So obviously when you start getting car makers moving towards what Tesla's doing, where they're making their own batteries in-house, granted they have partnered with Panasonic, it's going to help bring down costs, hopefully could increase production rates. And maybe they'll learn more about the battery technology, better efficiencies, you'll get better range out of the cars, but it is neat to see that other companies are starting to do this. Also, I believe it was Mercedes that came out and said they're no longer going to work on internal combustion engines going forward. They're going to focus more on electric vehicle efforts. Very interesting stuff to see all of these big car manufacturers really start to embrace the push to battery and electric vehicles, especially with the Porsche Taycan recently coming out. So very excited to see that car on the streets, and I would love to drive one day. Now, in another leak, in addition to that starting to charge for data usage, there's supposedly another leak of maybe a software update or something where there's, you have the image of your car when you get in the Model S. And online when you log in, there's an image of your car. Supposedly, there's a leak of what Model S Aero wheels might look like. So it'll be interesting to see if these actually come out, how many people like them or don't like them. But supposedly, there's some renderings of what could potentially be Aero wheels on a Tesla Model S. I was never a huge fan of them on the Model 3. I like them without them or aftermarket, but obviously they have been proven, I think, to show 10% efficiency in range. So, there's a time and place for them, but for the most part, styling and city driving, I don't think it makes a huge difference. It's probably more highway driving. But yeah, supposedly the Model S is going to get them. I like my rims a lot better than the Aero wheels. I also like my rims plasti dipped rather than the stock like silver, so yeah, there's that. And finally, Amazon has apparently bought 100,000 Rivian electric delivery trucks. So Rivian is another electric vehicle manufacturer. They're supposedly coming out with an SUV and a truck. I don't know when they're slated to start production or come out in 2020. They're supposed to start in the $60,000 range too. And the specs on the cars are obviously pretty good. Granted, they don't really have production vehicles out yet. They've been testing some cars. You can see them around. But Amazon did a $700 million investment recently. And then within the last week or two, they supposedly have purchased 100,000 electric vans, which is not something they've shown. They've shown their SUV and their truck. So I'll be very curious to see they have some renderings of the vans, so here's these. But I'll be curious to see if this is actually what they look like and when they're actually delivered. But either way, if those vans are even $50,000, I think that's roughly a $5 billion order. So Rivian is basically getting another $5 billion from Amazon. Am I doing that math right? So let's see, if it's a $50,000 base price, multiply that by 100,000, 5E9. $5 billion potential cash investment from Amazon, basically buying these 100,000 electric trucks. And the nice thing is they're gutted vehicles, you know? You have the front two seats, the batteries, but the whole back is empty. You don't have to make it nice. You don't have to have a luxury interior or anything like that. So the margins are probably pretty good on these trucks. Either way, it's basically Amazon funding their own investment, which is interesting, but very cool to see nonetheless. Something that I think Tesla should get into, providing some delivery vehicles, because they obviously have the most efficient batteries and drivetrain symbiosis, or whatever you want to call it. So pretty neat stuff, and hopefully we'll see more of these types of deals. I don't know why Tesla hasn't gone the commercial route yet. They really should, or look into it. I guess they have a semi coming out. Supposedly there was a semi truck spotted at Pixar, spotted at Pixar. So we'll see what happens with the semi. Supposedly there are some big orders, I think, from Walmart when they first came out, but that truck has still been yet to be utilized by, on a large scale by another company other than Tesla doing some tests with it. So very curious to see what that ends up looking like as far as specs in the real world when it comes out, how many people order it, how useful they are, how many trucks are actually replaced with them. And obviously can't wait for the Roadster. So more to come, but if you guys are enjoying the content, please consider liking and subscribing. But until next time, thanks for watching.